today we are going to make a nut bar, a double layered nut bar with chocolate. The base layer will contain cashew nuts and almonds. Let's go over the ingredients first. 1 cup of cashew nut powder, half a cup of almond powder, 3/4 cup of molasses sugar, and a little less than half cup of water. So we are going to switch the heat on, and in a pan add the water first. Then we're going to combine the sugar, mix it thoroughly, and we're going to wait till it dissolves completely. So keep stirring till the whole molasses sugar is dissolved well in water. Okay, so we keep stirring the molasses sugar till it dissolves. Once it dissolves, just wait for some time till it boils. The water starts boiling, and let it boil well so that the sugar and the syrup gets a little thicker before we can add the cashew nut and the almond powder together. So I'm just going to stir a little more. You can see the water has started boiling. The syrup is boiling. We're just going to reduce the heat a little and allow it to boil for another 2 minutes before we combine the cashew nut and the almond powder. Now 2 minutes. We have already heated it more for 2 minutes more. We are going to reduce the heat to further simmer, and now I'm going to slowly mix the cashew nut powder and the almond powder into the sugar syrup, and slowly give it a good stir. Mix it well and allow this to cook till the mixture thickens. And it is very important that you stir right from the bottom of the pan so that the mixture doesn't stick to the bottom. So you need to keep stirring constantly before you can see the mixture starts to thicken. So you can see now the mixture has started becoming thick. So at this stage it is again very important that you stir right from the bottom so that the mixture, you don't lose the mixture and it doesn't stick to the bottom. So you just keep stirring. As soon as it gets even more thicker, once the consistency is thick enough, we are going to take it off the heat. And in the meanwhile, while it gets thick, we're just going to grease a plate with some clarified butter or ghee. So that we can place the mixture. Okay, so I'm just going to pour the mixture into the greased dish and allow it to cool completely. And we'll have to wait before the mixture cools, and we can spread it as the base layer. Okay, so now we have this mixture which has cooled down completely, and I've taken a sheet of foil. You just need to take some clarified butter and spread it nicely all round the foil. And I'm going to use some more clarified butter on my hands. Smear my hands well with the clarified butter, and now try and lift the mixture from the dish and just make a ball between my palms. And we are going to just spread the ball on the sheet of foil, which is already brushed with some clarified butter. Try to make a smooth ball, avoiding rough edges. And we're just going to press gently with our hands. If you feel your hands have gone sticky, you can use some more clarified butter on your hand and try to spread the mixture evenly. You may shape it into a square or a round as per your choice. Just try to, I'm going to make a square, smooth out the edges, and don't make it too thick, just maybe an inch in thickness. So now we are going to leave this base nut layer to set for 10 to 12 minutes. And we are going to get the chocolate layer ready. Now for the chocolate layer, we have half cup of milk powder. We need 1 teaspoon of the clarified butter, just 1/4 cup of milk or just 2 tablespoons of milk, 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder, and there's vanilla essence, which will be adding few drops to it. So now we are going to get the chocolate layer ready. For that, we need half cup of milk powder, 2 tablespoons of molasses sugar, 1 tablespoon of milk, a teaspoonful of clarified butter, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, which is unsweetened natural organic cocoa powder, and I have vanilla extract. I shall be using 2 or 3 drops from this. For this, I've just put the heat on, and in this pan, I'm going to melt the butter, clarified butter. Once the butter is melted, then we are going to add the milk. This is on medium heat. The butter has melted, the clarified butter or ghee has melted. I'm just going to add the milk. Once I add the milk, I'm going to add the milk powder. Next, we're going to add the molasses sugar. The cocoa powder. Going to mix thoroughly the whole mixture till it becomes a uniform mix. And again, it is very important that you stir right from the bottom of the pan so that nothing sticks to the bottom and you don't lose any of your ingredients. So you just stir constantly. You can see the mixture has already thickened a little. You just need to mix it thoroughly so that it becomes a thick mix ready to be spread on the base layer. This just takes a few minutes. It gets ready quickly. Just going to try and see that the whole thing is mixed thoroughly and it is a uniform mixture, so that you get a nice lovely chocolatey flavor. And the heat is on medium. Okay, so here we've been stirring this for the last 3 to 5 minutes, and finally we have a nice thick chocolatey layer ready to go on the nut layer. So we're just going to switch off the heat. Add a few drops of vanilla essence. Mix well. Now we're just going to pour the chocolate on the nut layer. Scrape it all out nicely from the pan, and with the help of another spoon you can just pour out the whole mixture. On the nut layer. Now I'm just going to use some clarified butter on the back of another spoon, and I'm just going to spread the layer of chocolate uniformly over the base layer. So you can spread it nicely into a thin icing layer. When you use the clarified butter, it avoids the chocolate layer from getting messed up and gives a nice smooth texture over your nut layer. Now once you've done this, we're going to leave it for a good time to set before we can cut it into desired shape. Our bar is set, the double layered bar, the chocolate is the top and the nut is the base layer. It took us at least 15 to 20 minutes. And now we can cut it into the desired shape. So let's cut the bar. It's nice and strong. I'm just going to make simple squares. Smells nice and yummy. Okay, so we've cut them into squares, and you can store this in an airtight container and can enjoy this up to 2 to 3 weeks. And I would just like to give you a small tip. The sugar syrup which we are making should be really thick and viscous. As I had shown you before, when the sugar syrup starts boiling, after that you still cook it for some more time, for 5 minutes at least, so that the sugar syrup gets a little viscous, and then you add the nut powder so that the nut powder can really absorb all the sugar syrup and thicken nicely. Yeah, so the chocolate nut bar, the double layered nut bar which we have made, I would just like to talk a little about the nutrients. We have used cacao bean powder, which is unsweetened, not the regular hot drinking chocolate with sweet or sugar in it. And cacao bean has a lot of iron. It has antioxidants. It has an important mineral called magnesium, which is not only just useful for the digestive system, but it is the anti-stress mineral. Is useful for people with depression. It is also a very good muscle relaxant, and it helps with PMS or premenstrual cramps and premenstrual syndrome. Along with the iron which is present in the cacao bean, it relaxes your blood vessels during the menses or premenstrual period. And the almonds which we are using in this recipe are also rich with antioxidants and certain phytonutrients which are very good for the heart. Plus it has vitamins A and E. It's good for vision as well, and it is also important for preventing the memory deterioration. Cashews also are good with copper and chromium. Now this copper and chromium, these two minerals are really important for the health of an organ called pancreas in our body. Pancreas is an organ which plays a very important role in digestion. It provides all the digestive enzymes for the digestion to be completed in our digestive tract, but it also helps in regulating blood sugar. So copper and chromium which is present in cashews is very beneficial for the health of the pancreas. So the blackstrap molasses or the blackstrap sugar molasses which we had used, the molasses sugar which I had shown you, which was a dark sugar, powdered sugar which I have shown, and that sugar is also very rich in all the minerals like iron, magnesium. Again, it contains copper and chromium, so it is very useful, better than the white sugar which is bleached of all the minerals, and it can actually damage the pancreas. But this molasses sugar can support the health of the pancreas by providing it with the minerals that it most depends on, the copper and the chromium. So hopefully you enjoy making this recipe. It is very easy to make and it is very healthy and nutritious. Thank you. So hope you enjoy making this recipe. Do try this recipe, which is mineral rich and it is highly nutritious. It can be used by all age groups, people from the age of little toddlers to old people can all enjoy this chocolate snack as an alternative to other chocolate bars which may be high in calories. So hope you do try this recipe.
Please like, share, subscribe.
Try this new recipe and comment down below your experience.
And don't forget to put on notifications by pressing the bell icon below.
Until then, see you next week.